G'day everyone and welcome back to NS2HD. This is game 2 in a best of 3 matchup between Kheed and HBZ in build 180 on the map Summit in the Natural Selection 2 beta. If you haven't seen game 1, check it out. It's NS2HD number 38, and like in number 38 we have a pre-match interview. This time still catching up with Kheed, and they're going to tell us about their alien tactics. I caught up with them before the game began, and this is what they had to say about what they were going to do.
Well, for aliens, I'm going to at least try and do what you, NS2HD, did in one of your videos, where you had the gorge make it so you could get a fast resource node. Because I'm really not sure about this whole new cyst thing. That's really odd for me, at least right now. And then my goal will be to really try and pressure the Marines. Because the Marines come into their own in the mid and late game. In the early game, it's all aliens. So my goal would be to keep them as close to the early game as possible, while trying to find a place to expand and get fades and end it quickly.
Awesome. Thanks very much for taking the time to talk to us. Kheed will now proceed to the game timer ticking down to game start. This is going to be the second match, so Kheed needs to make something happen here to recover this series and keep it going. And we're going to go ahead and introduce the two teams right now. And I am here with Tempest.
Hey.
And he's going to introduce HBZ.
HBZ again. We have Basti, Shalorius, Trainee, Depara, Listral, and Wolf 21.
And on the alien side, we have Kheed with Tropic, Keith Wade, Vez, Wildman, Smorg, and Smoru. The teams are now joining up. It is the 15-second warm-up period right now. You have the mini-map in your bottom right. You also will have two perspectives in this game, plus the first-person perspective of Basti, who recorded his game for us. What do you reckon is going to happen, Tempest?
Oh, I'm not sure. We're going to have to see.
That's really good input there. Thank you very much. In the last game, it was an HBZ victory. So as I said, Kheed is going to have to pull it out here. And it looks pretty standard so far with the infantry portal going up. It looks like the Marines are trying to secure flight control. But it looks like we might be having a lot of skulks pushing up towards surface access very aggressively. But Marines pushing in as well.
Yeah, aliens are moving out. Doesn't look like much as a rush. They didn't move nearly fast enough, and the Marines got there way before them to surface access. And look, they're just holding them down in that doorway.
Yeah, I don't think that was intended as a rush. I think what Kheed wanted to do there was move in force and secure surface access for an early hive placement. But HBZ did well to deny it. And check out this gorge.
Yeah, Gorge doing that little unconnected cyst, healing and healing up the harvester at the same time. That's a nice little tactic while the commander waits to get their chain up into generator.
And we heard Kheed talking about wanting to do that in the pre-match interview. They said they wanted to grab a very, very fast extractor. And then I think that implied that they'd move into surface access quickly. But HBZ is just doing a great job of shutting them down in surface access. And the Gorge is incoming now to help.
Yeah, that's a nice little tactic for other players who might want to see what the two Marines are doing there. They're just staying up on that little raised up position and focusing down on that doorway. That really helps stop the aliens.
It does indeed, and if HBZ can hold here in surface access, they're going to deny the preferred hive for alien teams on Summit. On Summit, it is definitely more advisable to get a surface access hive than a heliport hive, because a heliport hive is far more open. And look at this, already HBZ pressure down into generator.
Absolutely, already getting damage down. Look, they killed it straight away. That Hydra was good though. Put a Hydra up just to put a little bit of support. Skulks coming in to try and clean them up. Those Marines doing a great job. More reinforcements coming down from surface access, so we're already seeing a lot of intensity down here.
Very unusual to see Marine pressure into generator so early in the game. Usually aliens are able to hold up near surface access and prevent Marine incursions down here, and already the Harvester taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, using the Harvester to block the Hydra, there's a nice tactic.
That is a fantastic tactic, and that is in fact Basti, the player who gave us his first person perspective for this game, and his teammates destroying reinforcing skulks as they try to come into generator.
And they cut the infestation chain, so that's going to be a big problem. We know that's a real game changer if the Marines can get down there and cull the infestation. So it looks like the aliens are responding by getting some more life forms up. We've got a lurk down here. He didn't manage to kill the harvester, but a lot of damage done.
A lot of damage definitely done, and this Marine comes in and he does in fact finish off that harvester. It was on very low hit points. So good job to Kheed getting that lurk out. That was absolutely essential, and that lurk will be essential. They will need to keep that lurk alive and do some damage with it, and it did a great job killing those Marines.
You guys might have been looking down on your minimap and seen these two Marines moving down the left side of the map this whole time. So HBZ really splitting up their forces, which is really effective. And these two Marines are going in. They don't expect there to be many aliens, so they're kind of tentative. And then they find none, so now they're pushing into the alien start.
Yeah, we've already got alien start pressure, so definitely HBZ on the front foot being extremely aggressive in this game. And it'll be interesting to see what Key does to try and get back from this situation, because undoubtedly HBZ has taken the initiative in the early game. Although I think this push into Alien Start might be a little bit of an overstretch. I don't think this is a great idea, because the aliens are going to clean it up, and it looks like they have.
Yeah, unlike the Marines in Generator, they didn't have a constant stream of reinforcements. We saw on the minimap that they didn't really have anyone supporting them, although I think by the way they were moving, it looks like those two Marines were expecting a lot more pressure than they received.
The lurk has gone down to Basti again in Generator. That is a big blow, because that was 30 personal resources spent on getting that life form, and all these other skulks might not have that personal res, and it is essential to have a lurk up at this stage in the game. And look at this, the Infestation is dying.
Infestation dying, that Hydra's not going to last much longer, no chance for a Harvester. So now the aliens trying to get up there, put a little bit of pressure into surface access, it looks like. But if you look at that minimap, we've still got two more Marines moving around the left side. Big fight going on in surface access, but those Marines just keep pouring in.
They do, and I think what we're seeing here, this might be, it seems like the combat is heavily favouring HBZ, and I think it's probably time to point out that this was played on a server very close to HBZ, and Keyed was spread all around the world, I think somewhere in the US and some in the UK, and the server was very close to HBZ in Germany, I think, or maybe in northeastern France. So the point is, I think HBZ might have a lag edge in this game, and that might be why we're seeing such massive, so many victories to the Marines in these one-on-one battles. And also you have to remember that the aliens are now slowed by Marine bullets.
Yes, and those two Marines coming around from Crevice again, that nice little team put some pressure on. Again, they're moving slowly. They're expecting a lot of aliens, not finding any. Now they've found some. A big swarm of skulks just come in to clean them up.
Great work from Keyed there, going in there and cleaning up the Marines coming in there. And really, if you've got Marines coming into your hive like that, like HBZ has been doing from Crevice, you don't need to panic, because they're not going to be able to do a lot of damage to your hive unless they've all got shotguns. And if you clean them up just outside the edge of your hive, then that's awesome work, because once you've killed them all, they will have to spawn in again, and then you can try to take map control. And it looks like we've got skulks pushing up into surface access, trying to do just that.
Maybe what we could have seen from Keyed is going through surface access around going into Crossroads and using the Crossroads entrance to surface access, rather than constantly going through that one passageway, something the Marines are playing against by blocking off that doorway.
They're definitely blocking off that doorway very well. And just a note on the Marine tech, there was no observatory, so it looks like HBZ is going to try and push this game without one, and they are moving. The map mobility of HBZ in this game is just exceptional.
Absolutely. Look, on the minimap, again, two Marines going through Crevice, and these Marines constantly pushing pressure on Generator, all the aliens diverting their resources there. Looks like we'll probably cut over to those two Marines soon. Maybe not, but mainly focusing on the action at Generator.
And having this dual-pronged attack constantly must be wearing down Keyed. This is really good teamwork from HBZ. They must be coordinating this heavily over the microphones and telling each other where they are and what they're doing, because this is really well coordinated. And you can see now, those two Marines are holding outside Alien Start. They're not pushing in, they are holding and probably biding their time and waiting for the opportune moment to strike. And there they go! As soon as their teammates went down and surface access came under pressure, they moved in and attacked Alien Start. That is amazing coordination, but good job Keyed, cleaning up in surface access. They have controlled it for what I think is the first time in this game.
I think what we should have seen from Keyed is maybe getting the one skulk should just go off and be a nuisance, because we've seen from the game before that just being a skulk, being an annoying skulk running around the map, chomping on RTs can really divert Marines. HBZ has a lot of breathing space to coordinate their strategy at the moment.
They do, and we saw Keyed do that in their earlier game against Frelge. Frelge being the team to beat at the moment in Natural Selection 2 Beta, and Keyed in fact had an upset victory against Frelge a couple of weeks ago, and so we definitely know they're capable of it. It looks like HBZ in this game has just taken the initiative very early on and put Keyed on the back foot from early on and sent them reeling, really.
Yep, that early game push is probably, that was a demoralizing, really hard for the aliens. Again, those two Marines going through Heliport and Crevice. This game isn't advancing so much at the moment, but I'd say the Marines have a leg up.
They do definitely have a leg up, and it is definitely evolving on the right-hand side of the map around surface access and generator, and you can tell really where a game is at by where the front line is. And right now, the front line is generator surface access, that area of the map. There's not a lot of play on the other side of the map, apart from Marines harassing down through crevice. And so definitely a Marine-favoured game at the moment.
I don't think we've even seen the power go out in generator, have we?
We haven't seen the power go out in generator, and that's probably not a really bad thing, because it's advisable to kill a power node if you think Marines are going to be building in here. And so if Keed somehow knows that, just bring out the scoreboard there so you can check on people's kills and scores. If somehow Keed knows there is no phase tech for the Marine team, then it's really not a big deal that they haven't killed that power node. If, on the other hand, HBZ did have phase tech, then Keed would definitely be looking to kill that power node.
And at the moment, we've got to push straight into Alien
What
Hive.
a kill from Basti.
Yeah. And the assists have been pushed all the way back. Basti going to town on those skulks. Reinforcements probably coming in from the left side of the map soon. It's too much pressure at the moment.
This is a lot. There are Marines inside the hive, sitting by the hive, doing damage to it. 83% already. I think this is now HBZ's game. Keed will have to pull something amazing out to recover this, and they are just inside the hive, pummeling everything. They are killing eggs. They're going to kill that whip, and they are damaging the hive a lot.
Even with all this pressure on, even though HBZ is probably getting excited, they're maintaining their strategy. We can see on the mini-maps the Marines on the left side of the map sticking to their strategy. Now they're sticking behind what looks like that little bar there, and they're serving one thing at the moment, and that's pain.
They are indeed serving pain from that bar, and it is just not looking good for Keed right now. And I do like the discipline of HBZ. They do have one player back in Marine start, and so they're definitely not all rushing in trying to get all the kills. They're working as a team. They've all got roles that they're sticking to right now to assure victory, and Keed is doing an admirable job trying to fight back here. They're not conceding yet. They are fighting to the death and doing a great job of it.
Every single Marine there has a shotgun, it looks like. There's little you can do at this point without fades, even without lurks. And there's Smaru calling GG. Looks like the hive is about to go down.
That is a Frontiersman victory. That is a victory for HBZ, which makes it 2-0, and that'll be the series for HBZ. So the best of 3 goes to HBZ. Looking forward to seeing these clans fight it out in the future, and we will now hear from Shaloris from the HBZ team, who will tell us a bit about how he went. But for now, what do you think was the theme of that game, Tempest?
Like the other game, early game pressure, or maybe not so much here, the Marines denying area to the aliens. We saw that tactic in surface access of holding them off, getting through the doorway. So denying aliens area and then slowly moving forward with a few pushes every now and again.
Absolutely, the map control was exceptional, and the map mobility and the teamwork was amazing. Now, I did catch up with Shalorius after the game. I jumped on Steam chat with him and recorded a couple of questions about how he thought the game went and what his tactics were and what he learnt from the game. So here we go with Shalorius.
Hello.
And how do you think he went, Shalorius?
I think the game was pretty good for us. We met up yesterday to speak about the tactics, and this was the first time we did this, not just before the game starts. We took really time to speak about how we want to do what and when.
I reckon your map control that you demonstrated was reminiscent of the time you played against Frelge. What do you think about that?
Yes, it did. We took our lessons from Frelge in the last match and learned from our mistakes.
And it paid off for you. It certainly paid off for you. That was exceptional play by your team, and I can't wait to see you guys play again in the future. Thanks for taking the time to talk to us. And that is it for this cast, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please leave comments below and tell us what you thought.
Hope you enjoyed it, guys. See you next time.
See you next time for another clan matchup in the Natural Selection 2 beta. Look out in future for more NS2HD videos.